I started getting sick, and I started losing weight, and I was always coughing and out of breath. I was weak and tired, and I'd get fevers. Being a runner and a boot camp enthusiast, I was frustrated. This was not going to get me down, but I knew I had to figure out what it was. The doctor told me that parts of my left lung had collapsed, and my chest x-ray looked really bad. I then went to the emergency room, and they took me very seriously. After a CT scan, the ER doc knew that this wasn't good. And then the biopsy results. And he said I had tumor cells, to which I said, "Wait, does this mean I have cancer?" And he said, "Yes, you have adenocarcinoma lung cancer." How could that be? I never smoked in my life. I ate healthy foods. I was an exercise addict. We were in shock. We started researching immediately. The statistics weren't good. Lung cancer was the #1 killer of women. It kills more people than any other type of cancer. I was faced with my own mortality, and I was scared. My head hurt so bad. I'll never forget that day. It was the worst day of my life. The next Friday was October 30th, and it was the day of our big annual Halloween party. We considered canceling it, but I decided that if this was going to be my very last Halloween, I wanted to see all of our friends happy and having a good time. We decided not to tell anyone about the cancer diagnosis until after our party. I'd lost so much weight that my Halloween costume didn't fit. We went quickly to a costume shop and rented a new one that did fit. I weighed less than I did in the 8th grade. I felt like my time was short. 2 hours before the guests were to arrive, my doctor called and told us that my MRI showed something in my brain, and it was likely cancer. I looked so thin at the party that some people suspected something was wrong. We began telling our closest friends and family about my cancer diagnosis. It was so hard to tell them. The response varied from person to person, but it hurt them to hear the news, and it hurt me to hurt them. I felt really bad. My heart was racing. I was sweaty and my chest hurt. I was still coughing and I was exhausted. Things got really dark really quick. I'd look at Greg and I would begin to think about him being a single dad, and I'd begin thinking about the kind of wife I'd want Greg to marry. I started planning my funeral, and things looked grim. And then it hit me. I don't want to plan my funeral, and I don't want to die. I want to live now more than ever. And just like that, I was hit with a piece of God. It was like a warm blanket right out of the dryer on a cold day. Comfort, peace, grace. And I quit crying, and I heard God clearly tell me, it's already been done. You know who you are and whose you are. My husband Greg started this Facebook page, Gina's Army, and people started coming out of the woodwork to fight for me and fight with me. The road was going to be a hard one, but with this army on my side and God in control, I was ready. Insurance was a nightmare, and the drugs were astronomically expensive, but people prayed and people gave. And people put on tennis tournaments and sold t-shirts and made us meals and helped us with our kids. It was an outpouring of love for me, for one life. Why? Because I'm a wife? Because I have 2 beautiful sons? Because I'm a nice person? No, it was because life is important. Today, the Gina's Army Facebook page has 1,767 members. People from all walks of life, all ages, all races, all backgrounds who have said, yes, I can pray, I can volunteer, I can give. For me, for one life, I've been so close to death that I was in her shadow. And I'm here to tell you that my life matters because life is important. No brain surgery, no lung surgery, no medical bill is going to keep me from fighting for my life. You see, through all of this, I've been given this gift of clarity. It's simple. Life is a gift. Life is fragile. Life is a miracle. Life is important. So important that we should fight for it. My name is Gina Hollenbeck, and I am celebrating life.